All right. So what did we learn in our previous session? One.
Iframes, frames.
And the ways to switch to frames. There are three different methods which are given by Selenium. That is switch to a frame using its index, switch to a frame using its ID or name, and switch to a frame using web element. Okay, these are the three methods that which we can use to switch to a frame. We can have any one of these, not all the three, any one of these three to switch to a particular frame. But most of the times we don't use the index because the index position will always be changed. It might not be constant, so we will not depend on indexes. We will be depending on either using ID or name if it has some attribute ID or attribute name. If not, then we'll find it using any other technique and then pass it as a web element to the frame. So these were the three methods that we have learned in our previous session. Now there is some more things that we should know about these frames. I mean, concept is same. Other than these three methods, there is nothing. But something that we have to learn that I'm going to show you now. Create a new whiteboard. All right. So I created a whiteboard where suppose let us assume that the this whole red one is a HTML page. Okay. So in this HTML page, we are having, this is scenario one. Okay. Scenario one. This whole HTML page, we are having two frames. One is here and the other one is here. For example, I'm saying two frames. Okay, this is section 1, this is section 2. So both the sections are having in frames. This is frame 1 and this is frame 2, for example. Okay, frame 2. Now, if you want to go from this HTML page, from this HTML to any of these frames, from HTML page to frame 1, if you want to go to this, then we can use any of the methods directly to jump into this frame, right? Agree? We have the methods, right? We can jump from, or we can move, or we can change our cursor or change our control of driver from HTML to frame 1 or frame 2 directly from HTML page. We can switch to frame 1 or frame 2. There won't be any issues. But now we are already in frame 1. For some reason, from HTML to perform some operations, we move to H1. Sorry, frame 1. Okay, this is frame 1. Now we are in the frame 1. But after performing some operations on this frame 1, I want to move to frame 2. You get my point? Now I have to perform some operations on frame 2. So since these frame 1 and frame 2 are independent, they are not related to each other. Okay, frame 2 is not inside frame 1. So that means there is no relation between frame 2 and frame 1. So now if you want to move from frame 1 to frame 2, you cannot directly go into frame 2. You have to go into HTML page, and from the HTML page again you have to go to frame 2. Understood? Is that clear? Yanji, Bobby, Sharap. Theoretical concept. If it is a single frame, then we are directly jumping from our HTML page to the frames. Okay, frame 1 or frame 2, no problem. But we are in frame 1 and we want to move to frame 2. since these two are not interrelated, frame 2 is not inside frame 1 or frame 1 is not inside frame 2, these are not related. So what we have to do is we cannot directly jump from frame 1 to frame 2. There is no option to jump from frame 1 to frame 2. So what we are doing is we are moving from our frame to HTML and then from HTML to frame 2. Right? This is scenario 1. Is that clear?
Yes.
Similar is the case. If you are in frame 2 and you want to go back to frame 1, then you have to go to HTML, and from HTML you have to move to frame 1. Understood? This is one scenario. Now, scenario 1. Now again, this is another HTML page. Okay. Now I have okay, this is one frame and this is another frame, but this is frame 1 and frame 2 old scenario. Okay. Now, but in frame 1 I have another frame, and inside this I have another frame. You understood? Let me say this as HTML. This is F1 and this was F2. This is F11. This is F12. And here also, if we draw another frame, this will become F. Okay. So let us assume that the page is like this. You understood, right, what I'm trying to say here? The HTML page, there are two frames, but inside those frames again there are frames, F1 of 1 and F1 of 2, and inside this frame there is one child frame called F2 of 1. You understood? Now let me write something here. So now if we want to move to from HTML to F1, we can go directly. I'm saying we can move directly, right? No need of changing or no need of doing anything extra. We can move from HTML to F1 directly. Similarly, from HTML to F2, we can go directly, right? Because both are present inside the HTML only, right? You're able to see my screen, right? Whiteboard. Hello.
Yes.
So you are understanding this. From HTML to F1, we can go directly. From HTML to F2, we can go directly because these F1 and F2 are directly inside HTML. Now, I want to move to F11 from HTML. If I have to go to from HTML to F11, if I want to move to this, it is not direct. We have to move from HTML to F1. Okay, we have to move to F1, and then from there we have to move from F1 to F11. Understood? We cannot directly go from HTML to F1 because without identifying this frame, we cannot move our control to this frame, and without being in this frame, we cannot directly go into a child of this frame. You understood? So that is why if you want to move from HTML to F11, then you have to go to F1, then from there you have to switch to F11. There is no other way. Even if you are not doing any operations on F11, you have to jump, you have to go to F1, then only you have to go to F11. Okay, is that clear? if you if you want to go to F12, F11, F11 to F12. This is direct. Now for the F11, how do we navigate is here. Move to F11, you have to follow this. And if you want to go to F12, from F11, you have to go to F1. Okay. Now, my work is completed on F12. I have some work on F1. Or I have to click a button on F11. From F12, I want to click on a F11. So this F1, sorry. This F11 is the parent of F12. Agree? These are parent and child, right? Which is F12 is inside F11. So if you want to move from F12 to F1, then in that case, what we have to do is we have to call a method called parent frame. Okay. F12 to F1. F11. If you want to move from F1 to F11, then you have to use a method called parent frame, because F11 is the parent of F12. So if you want to move back from F12 to F11, then you have to use parent frame. No, I don't want to go to F11. I want to go from any of these, F1 or F11 or F12. From any of these, I want to go to the HTML content. Okay. In that case, we have a method called default content. We have to use this method. If we want to move from any of these frames, child frames, either from F1 or F2 as well, F1 or F2 or F21 to HTML. Let us assume that we are in any of these frames and you want to move to HTML, then we can use the default content method. From any of the frames to HTML page, we have to use a default content. But if you are in F12 and you want to move to F11, then you have to go to parent frame. And from here to F1, again use parent frame. And from F1 to HTML, we can use either parent frame or default content. Anything is fine because there is no extra frames in between there. So that is why you can go to parent frame or default content. That is the same case with F2 and F21. Okay. Now I want to move from F1 to F21. Okay, I want to move from F12 to F2. So in this case, what is the flow? What can we do? So what should we do if we want to
go
move?
to F2?
How do we go to F2 from F1 to directly?
Using default content? No.
Okay, so we are moving from F12 to HTML. We should move from F12 to HTML using default content. Okay, and next. After that,
from there to F2.
From there to F2. Okay. Now from here, from HTML to F2. Okay. Then next, F2 to F2. So this is how you have to switch between frames. Understood? Or here we used, since we know that there is a default content method, so we moved from F12 to default content. If not, uh, if you don't know the default content, or if you want to switch using another way, then what we'll do is F12 to F11, F11 to F1, and F1 to HTML, and then from HTML to F2, and from F2 to F2. Understood? Is that clear? Okay. And there is one more small scenario. Okay. This is something. 211. It is F212. That means these both are inside F21 only directly. Now, if I want to move from F211 to F212, what should I do? Come on. Come on.
Can you repeat the question?
Now this F211 and F212 are inside F21.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to move from F211 to F212.
Shouldn't we go from F21 to F212? 12?
Yeah. Now, if you want to move from 11 to 12, then from 11 to F21, from F21 to F212, nothing changes. Same. Now related with F1 and F2, both are inside HTML. So how did we go from F1 to F2? F1 to HTML, HTML to F2. In the same way, frame 2 to frame to 11 to frame to 1, frame to 1 to frame to 12. Understood? Is that clear? Okay, Babu shared parent frame. Yeah, we can use parent frame. That is nothing but F211 to F21, and from F21 to F12. So you understood how do we handle frames and how do we switch between these frames? Is that clear? Say, I cannot find applications which is having all these scenarios. That is why I have to explain this theoretical part. But there are only 3 methods to switch into the frames that we have already learned. And then moving out of the frames, we have parent frame and default content that we are going to see now. Okay. That's some question to me. Okay, fine. So this is all about how we deal with the frames. Is that clear, or do you have any questions on this? Please respond. Is that clear? Or do you have any questions in switching to frames? Okay, fine. So you might get another question, but you're not asking. I know. I'll tell you. Now here I have drawn the images, so you are able to understand that there is frame 1, there is frame 1, there is frame 1, 2. That means there are child frames inside each of it. But how do we understand that this frame is inside this frame in the HTML? Do we have any method? Didn't you get that question? I was waiting for that question to ask, but you are not asking. Here we know, since I drew the diagram, you are able to clearly see that, okay, F1 is separate and F2 is separate. But in the HTML page or in the applications, how do you know that this frame is inside another frame? Is there any way? No. There is no shortcut way. There is no other options that to find out that whether it is a child frame or child of child. There is no option to find that. But what we have to do, or what we can do, is we have to analyze the HTML and see if it is present inside a frame or it is directly in the HTML. That is the only way that we can decide whether it is inside a frame or not. Okay. All right. Now let me share my full screen. I'm stopping the screening sharing of this whiteboard. Okay. All right. Now let's go back. I'll go to the same site. Which one is this? This one. Select. We haven't run this yesterday, so I'm going to run it now. Dot select by visible text. I'll say, yeah, Volvo, or I can use Audi, which is the last one. Audi. Okay. Now I don't want to. Okay, let us see whether the index of this frame is 1 today as well. There are 9. Yesterday there were 11. Still today also the index position didn't change for this, so it's okay. Okay, fine. Now I will be using any one of the technique to switch, because I don't need three switches. I have to switch only once. So I'm just switching using this, and then I'm selecting RD. This is moving from our HTML page to RD. Okay, before that. Okay, before switching to this frame, I'll click on this to change the what do we say, theme. Yeah, dark theme and light theme. This is dark, this is light. Okay, because why am I saying this? Because this is direct in the HTML content. So you should know that we are able to control the HTML, right? So let us identify this. Title, class. Okay, title is supposed to change theme. So let's see if we. Nothing is there. /a. Oh, change theme one here. Where is the other one? Okay, so since this is showing, this is from Barbara. This is try top now, so I can use this div to make it unique. Double slash get of class is equals to try top now. So try top. Now you see we are getting only one button. Okay, now let us try to click on this before switching to the frame. Before we are switching to the frame, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click driver dot and element by dot path of this, and then click on it. Okay, this is before, and then after switching to the frame, after switching to the frame, I'll try to click on the same element. Let it. Okay, so before performing the before selecting RD, I clicked on the change theme, and then I performed the selection of the RD value, and then I'm trying to change back my theme. Okay, reverting the theme changes. Okay, now let's run this. What happened? Let's see what happens when I run this. Observe the page, it will be running very fastly. Theme changed. RD selected. Is it done? Theme is changed and RD is selected. And after selecting this, I asked my script to click again, right, to change the theme, revert the theme. We wrote another extra line. What is it doing? It threw an exception. What is the exception? Let's find. Let's see it. What is the exception? You see it here? No such element exception. Why no such element exception? Just before this, we were able to find it, right? We were able to click on it. Then the same line I copied and pasted here, and it is unable to click. Why? Can you tell me? Come on. Pretty simple one. Hello. Fine. So this is once we click on the theme change, then we are moving to a frame. You see here, we are switching to a frame. So when it is inside a frame, it won't be able to access the elements which are outside the frame. So if you want to work on this, what should we do? We have to move from this frame to its parent or the default content, that is to the HTML content. So we have to do that. To revert the theme changes, what we have to do is driver dot switch to dot default content. That's all. When I add this line, this is going to work. Moving from iframe to HTML content. Okay. Now let me run this and show it to you. It will work. Already selected. Theme changed again. Right. So that is how we are going to work on it. Okay. All right. So this is all about frames. Now there are no child frames, so I cannot move or I cannot show you example for parent frame. Fine. So this is all about frames. Our next topic will be windows. Okay. For windows, I'll take example of a job portal, which is Naukri. If I open this Naukri.com, let's see. All right. So when I open this Naukri.com by default, it is showing me two pop-ups on my screen. You see this, JP Morgan and Tech Mahindra. Nah, this is by default showing two extra things which are on my screen. You see the URL for this is Naukri.com, and there is a separate URL for this, and there is a separate URL for this, right? So these are not frames. These are opened by this page, but these are not frames because it has a separate HTML content. Okay, it has a separate HTML content for its own, but these are opened in a separate window. Okay, this is a separate page, or this is a separate HTML, and this is a separate HTML. Now here also we have to move from this if you want to work. Though these small windows are opened by Naukri, we have to move to these windows to click on any of to perform any of the operations. Okay, so we have separate things which helps us to switch from this browser, from this HTML content to this HTML content. Okay, now let us see those things. Okay, so we are going to learn about windows. What is the difference between frames and windows is frame is a HTML inside HTML. Windows are separate HTMLs. Frames will not have any separate URLs, but windows will have separate URLs. You see this? There is a separate URL. There is a separate URL. Okay. And if for suppose if I click sometimes in our applications when we click on the link, okay, when you click on the link, it will open like this. When you click on some of the links, this is there. When I click on the link, it will open this window. Now here also these are two separate windows. Okay, so whatever, whether it is like this or whether it is like this, both are separate windows only, right? This is a window and this is a window. If you want to move your control from this page to this page, also we have to follow the same process. Understood? So now let us see how do we do that working with Windows. I'll create a new class. Working with Windows. Common things common. So I'm going to copy the basic things. But now I don't want to use this W3 Schools URL. What is the URL that I want to go to? I want to go to this Naukri.com. Okay. Copy the first line. Okay. Now we are on the Naukri page and then we maximized it. Now let's find these windows. Okay. To move to these windows, Selenium does not provide any method directly. We do not have any method directly. But then how can we switch, or what are the operations that we should do? We have to get the identification of those parent window and the child windows. Okay, or a parent tab and the child tabs. So in that case, what we have to do is fetch parent window ID for future usage. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, currently my cursor control will be on this page, right? So when I'm on it, I'm going to fetch my cursor. I'm going to fetch my ID for identifying this window. Okay. How do I do that? Driver dot get window handle. This is going to return me a window handle which is unique to each run. Okay, unique to each run. I'm giving parent window. Okay, now let me print out this. See, so parent window. Okay, now let me run this and show it to you. What is the ID it is giving us? Okay, there are three. Now you see this is the ID. I'll copy this ID. Yes, I'll store it. Okay, this is first iteration. Now let me run the second time. Let us see whether it is giving the same ID. Okay, now we got another ID. Paste it here. Now compare. Are both the IDs same? All right. It is 60, but it is 6F, and it is ending with BC. It is ending with A0. So what can we conclude from this? For every run, every time when you open a new browser, a new window new ID will be generated. This ID will not be static. This ID is not fixed. This is the ID that is being generated based on some certain criteria, how many browsers are opened, or what is the window name, or when it is opened. So there are various things that is, I'm not sure what is this Selenium considering and generating this ID, but this is able to identify this using this ID. This is the handle ID. Okay. So every time you run, if every time you want to run, you have to get this ID of the particular window so that you can switch to that window. Okay. All right. Now we got the parent window handle, so that once we perform some operation on this and we want to move to this one, we can move. And later, after we complete the work on this window, if you want to go back to the parent window, we should have some identification, right? So that is the reason I stored this parent window handle. Okay, this is the parent window ID. Let me mark it as parent window ID. This is the parent window ID. Now, switch to no, before switching, get all windows ID. If you want to switch to a window, then we need to know its ID. So that is the reason I'm going to get all the Windows IDs. That is how driver dot get window handles. There is another method called get window handles. So I'm going to get that window handles. This is going to see when I called get window handle, it was a singular method. So it is returning a string. Okay. When I'm calling this, it is returning set of strings. Okay. Now I have to store this inside set of strings. What is a set? I'll say all handle IDs. Okay. And I have to import this. All right. You know how to print the values from set? How to print? Forgot everything, I know. Okay. I'm using for each handle ID in all handle IDs. So of CISO of and okay. Now see it. When I run it, it will give us 3 different IDs. So let's go to the console. You see, copy this. Okay, why to copy here itself? Yeah, you see here, this is repeated because I have printed already parent window ID. When I say get window handles, it will get all the IDs, right? 1, 2, and 3. So that is why in the console, it printed again 3 IDs. So out of this is the parent ID. Understood? This is also a window. So it got a window ID. That's all. So we have 3 windows open. So we got 3 windows. Okay. This is how we are going to work. Now we got the IDs. Now if you see, this is not unique. This is always generating separate values. This might not be same every time we run. Then how do you identify this window is Tech Mahindra and this window is what is the other one? JP Morgan. How can we identify that this is JP Morgan and this is Tech Mahindra? No, we cannot, right? By seeing these values, can we do that? We cannot. It is not possible for us to identify which ID is for which window. Right? So for that, what we are going to do is, okay. Now, switching to window. To switch to that window, we have method like this. Driver dot switch to dot window, which is taking a string argument. You see that? Driver dot switch to dot window, which is taking a string argument. That string argument is your handle ID. Okay, I have to switch into each handle. Okay, I am switching to that window, and then after switching, I can get the title of that window. Okay, I can get the title of that particular window. String window title. Okay, and then see, so you know what is title, right? We already discussed about this. I'm switching to that each window and getting the title. Okay, now let's see what is it printing. I will print, okay, anyway, handle ID, and then you will print a window title, so you can understand this is the handle ID, this is the window title. Now let me run this again. Okay. All right. You see here, this is the parent window where you got the title jobs, recruitment, job search, employment, job vacancies, Naukri.com. Let's see that. You see, job, recruitment, job search, employment, job vacancies, and blah, 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 whatever is there that has come there. Okay. And then next, second window is JP Morgan. Third window is Tech Mahindra. You see the title name is JP Morgan. Okay. And the title is Tech Mahindra. Ignore this Google Chrome. That is a browser property that is being appended. But originally, let me show you that. If I inspect it on the HTML page, you will see a title. In this head, you see the title is only Tech Mahindra, right? So this is what you will see on the console, whatever is present in the HTML. Okay, so we are getting Tech Mahindra and we are getting JP Morgan. Now I want to perform some operation on JP Morgan or Tech Mahindra, whichever window you want. Okay, or let us assume that I want to work on JP Morgan. Okay, this is the window and I have an image here. I'll click on it to go to this window or to apply. Okay, but to click on it, we have to identify this element. Right click, inspect. Okay, this is body and this is A. Okay, you have anchor tag inside it and you have some properties for this. Let us see whether something is available for us, or you have an image. You have an image whose alt property is JP Morgan, and then there is a link in it. But anyway, in this page you will have only a single link, /A. You see it? Only one link. So I can directly use this /A to click on it. Okay. So let me click on this to open a new window. Okay. So window title, and where, in which window I have to click? This window title is matching with which window? JP Morgan. What is the title of JP Morgan? Here is the title. So I'm going to use that JP Morgan title and use it. If this is matching, then what should I do? Driver dot find element by dot XPath of /A, and then I want to. Understood? This is how I have to work with Windows. Okay. Once I click on it, if I want to go to the parent window, then I will use driver dot switch to dot window of parent window ID. That's all. After all the operations I perform on the child window, then I'll move to the parent window. Okay, so this is how we deal with windows. Okay, after moving, just to show you that, I'm going to print the title of this again. Okay, driver dot get title. Okay, after switching to parent window, I'm getting the title again. Right? Now let's see. It clicked on that, so that is why JP Morgan another page is opened, and then it might have completed it. Yeah, you see default parent, and then there is a JP Morgan window, there is a Tech Mahindra window. We have clicked on JP Morgan, a new window is opened, then we moved to the parent window and printed the title again. Is the title matching from the above one? Jobs, recruitment, job search, employment, job vacancies, calculator. Right? So this is how we deal with windows. Is that clear? Hello.
Yes, yes, Mr.
Okay. Then now we are done with these windows. So wherever you want to move in between these windows, you can get that window title, or if you don't know if the title is not going to be fixed or static, then if you know the URL, then to get the URL also there is one method. Instead of getting title, get current URL. This will fetch us the current URL of that particular window, and you can compare that URL with your required URL. And then if they are matching, you can perform the operations. If not, you can switch to another window. Since this is inside a for loop, it will go to the another window and check for this. Okay. So either you can use get title or get current URL, any of those things. And so here are the tasks for you. Write a method to switch to a window using a title. Another is write a method to switch to a window using its URL. Another thing, write a method to switch to a window using an element inside the window. Okay, write these methods, these three methods. Okay, all right. Now did we discuss about the driver.close and driver.quit methods? No, right?
No.
All right, now let us discuss. I'll close all these unwanted windows. Now you see here, we have these three things, right? When you open this now play, you will see this separate two windows. Now, when your driver is, when you open this driver, these three windows are opening, right? When you say Naukri.com, these three things are opening by the same URL, right? But these three are independent windows, window 1, window 2, and window 3. You can also have these things like this. These are three separate windows. Now, when I say driver.close on whatever the window, for suppose if I'm on the main window, when I say, if I say driver.close only this will be closed and these will be still remaining. But if I say driver.quit, everything which is opened by that particular driver object, that means when I say driver.get, this is opening all the three small windows, right? When I say driver.quit, it is going to kill this driver object. That means whatever the windows that we open using this driver object, all the windows will be closed. That is the major difference between driver.close and driver.quit. If you have a single window, both works in the same way. But when you have multiple windows, driver.close will close the current window where our control is. But driver.quit will close all the browsers. Okay. Now let me show you that. Now, at this after this for loop. Okay, not after this for loop because we didn't break, right? Inside this if condition. Okay, we are in this link. We clicked on JP Morgan, right? Now I want to close that window. Okay, I'm using this driver.close. Okay, now let's see that whether it is closing everything or whether it is closing only JP Morgan. Observe it. Okay, clicked on JP Morgan, but do you see JP Morgan small window now? No, right? Because that is closed. Okay, though that JP Morgan is closed, you still have this window, this tab. When we click on JP Morgan, this will be opening, right? So you have these two and then this. Now let me add a driver.quit at the end. Driver.quit. Now you observe nothing will be remained open. Everything will be closed. If you want to close a particular window when on which your control is, you can use driver.close. If you want to close everything, then use driver.quit. You see, all the browsers got closed, right? So that is the difference between driver.close and driver.quit. This driver.close closes a single or particular window where the control is, where the control is. This will close all the windows instantiated by the driver object. Understood? So this is all about working with windows. Any questions on frames and windows? Okay.
No, Nikhil.
Then we'll move to our next topic. We are done with working with frames and windows. Then we have alerts. Okay. Let us see what is alert. I'll go to W3 Schools again. Okay, so here you see, I'm going to open this. This is the code that we have. When you click on this try it button, this is going to generate an alert. You see it? This is an alert. Okay. To deal this alert, we do not have any HTML. To click on this OK button, we do not have any HTML page for this alert alert box. So we won't be able to perform. Also, we won't be able to perform any other operation when this alert is present on the page. If I click on this, I'll be able to, okay. Might be I clicked on multiple times, try it. So this, see, when that is there, I won't be able to perform any operation. When the alert is there, you see, I won't be able to click anywhere. When the alert is there, the page will be completely unresponsible. It won't be working until unless we take an action on the alert. Why do we use these alerts? To provide information to the user. Okay, on the applications we use these alerts to provide information to the user. If you observe the HTML code we have, or the background HTML page, do you see this? Do you see anywhere about the OK button? Do you see here? No, right? There is no OK button here. Why? There is no input or there is no OK button. There is only one try it button, that is this. Why is it not having this code related to OK? Because this alert is not a HTML alert or HTML pop-up. It is JavaScript alert. Okay. Since it is a JavaScript alert, we do not have any HTML code to handle it. Selenium means you have to find the element using its HTML attributes or HTML properties and work on it. But these alerts does not have the HTML code, right? These alerts does not have the HTML code. Okay, so that is why for this we have a switching method in Java which helps us to switch to those particular alerts. Okay, this is one alert, and there is one more thing called as prompt box. This is also one of the other example which we have to look at. If I click on it, you see it will take input Nikhil Gunda, and then when I click on OK, it will say hello Nikhil Gunda. You see it? That means this is also an alert. You see here also there is this complete input box and everything is written inside a script. There is no HTML code for it. This is a script tag, right? So this is a script again. So you won't be able to find the elements on this. You won't be able to locate the elements, and without working on this, you won't be able to perform any other operations. So when there is an alert or when there is a prompt box, you have to handle those alert or prompt box. Then only you can work with the other elements on the page. Okay? So now let us see how do we work with these alerts or prompt boxes. Okay. I have the notes for you. What is an alert? It is a JavaScript, and this is not a HTML dialog. We cannot use driver.element find element on the handle alerts because it doesn't have any HTML content. And to use the alerts, what we have to use is, for any page you will have only one alert at a time. You cannot have multiple alerts at the same time. So that is why alert doesn't accept any parameters. You can simply use this driver.switch2.alert. Whenever there is an alert, you can use this driver.switch2.alert. Okay, right. And then there is pop-ups or HTML alerts. For example, let's go to Orange HRM. Okay, now let's go to PIM and employee list. Then I'll select some dummy user, and then I want to delete it. Now you see this one. So is it an alert or pop-up? Okay. Now you see the differences between both of them.
Yeah.
This is a JavaScript alert, whereas this is having a HTML page for it. You see model body, where I'm able to see all the buttons. You see it? Is it highlighting? Right? Okay, cancel buttons. Right? See it now. Okay button, cancel button, and above it you have text, and then you have the title, and then you have the complete div. Right? So you are able to identify this using HTML. How do you identify this as an alert or the pop-up? How do you differentiate between them? What are the differences you see? No, it's pretty simple. This doesn't have a HTML. This has a HTML. That is the thing that which I told you now. And then if you observe these two things, it is only in black and white. But if you see here, it is colorful. And then there is some styling added. There is a cross mark button added onto this, but there is no cross mark button here. So pop-ups are customizable because these has HTML code back in behind it, right? If you are having HTML, you can write in your own style, but this is not having any HTML code. This is a simple method called alert of JavaScript. So when you call this method, it is going to generate these alerts. This alert is a default behavior of the browser, and alerts will not be the same in all the browsers. Now let me open this inside Internet Explorer. You will see the difference between alert display on the Chrome as well as alert display on the Internet Explorer. You see, is it the same? When this is there, I won't be able to perform any action. I want to bring a little down. Now you see, this is also an alert. This is also an alert. The same alert, same page. When I click on try it only, I'm getting this alert. Hello, I'm an alert box. Hello, I'm an alert box. But you see, there is a triangle icon, and there is an OK button, a solid button. But here you see a blue color button, and there is the message called a message from web page with the cross mark. But here it says an embedded page on this page says. So dealing this script, dealing this script changes from browser to browser. We don't have to worry about it because we are not going to find an element using the attributes it has, right? Because these are generated by browser, not by the developer. The developer added a script and these alerts are generated by the browser. So we don't know what the browser displays, how the browser displays an alert. Okay. So we don't have to worry about the background, but we know that this is an alert. This doesn't have a HTML. This is a pop-up. This has a HTML. Alerts will not be colorful. It will be generally black and white. And pop-ups will be colorful because that can be customized using the HTML and CSS, right? You understood the differences between both? When alert is there, you won't be able to perform any operation on the page. But when this pop-up is there, if you click somewhere else, that pop-up will be gone. When the pop-up is present, you'll still be able to perform the operations. You see, I can click on search, right? So those are the differences between alert and pop-up. Okay. Now let us try to deal with this alert. There should be one more thing which is us, which should have, okay, yeah, this and the prompt box. Okay, cancel. Yeah, okay, right. Now let's see. Let us start writing code for it. We still have 20 minutes, so I'll be completing these alerts as well. Okay. C11, C12 underscore alerts. First things first. So we have the common things. Going to any site and maximizing them. Okay. Now I don't want to go to Naukri.com. I want to go to this URL. Alert. First, I want to handle the alert, so I'm taking this alert. Okay, this is the alert. I am going there, and then now I want to click on try it. Correct. Button with text, try it. Okay. Control F, / button. Text is equals to right. Okay, I found one. That's fine. So I'm picking this. Dot find element by dot click. Now will it work? Will I be able to click on that right button? See again. Will I be able to click on that right button?
No.
Why? What is the reason I won't be able to click on that right button? We have learned it today, just today. You see that it's an iframe, right? The button is inside an iframe. You see here also it is showing the frame related options. That is the reason I right clicked and opened this window. You see, it is frame, it is inside a frame. So when an element is inside a frame, what should we do? We have to switch to that frame to perform operation on that element, right? I'll use this frame. Paying attention or you're not listening. Driver dot switch to dot frame. I'm passing the idea of it. Driver dot switch to dot frame. Once switching, I will be able to click on the try it button. Okay. Once I clicked on the try it button, there will be a pop-up displayed on the browser, which is an alert. Without handling this, I won't be able to work on any of the elements. So I have to handle this. To handle this, I have, since this is out of this HTML page, right? It is not inside the HTML page. This is run by JavaScript and generated by browser. So this is out of the HTML page. I have to switch to this alert. Okay. To handle the alert, handle the alert or accept. What we have to do is driver dot switch to dot alert. Once you switch to this alert, I can accept. Accept means, you see, I won't be clicking on OK, but I can click on enter. When you switch on to the alert, I can click on. Okay, wait. Since I did multiple clicks, it was not working. Once I'm on it, the cursor will be by default on the OK button. If I press enter, that pop-up will be gone. You see, observe the mouse cursor. I'm clicking on try it. My mouse cursor is here itself in the bottom. Okay. Now I'm pressing enter on my keyboard. Gone. Right. When I press enter on my keyboard, it is going. That means we are accepting that OK button. Okay. All right. So we are switching to that alert and we are clicking on accept so that the alert will be closed. So here, to show that the alert came and closed, I will be adding some delay here. Red dot. I'll say, sorry, red dot sleep. I'll give 5,000 milliseconds. Okay. Now let's see whether it is handling the alert or not. Alert is displayed. We will wait 5 seconds. Alert is closed. Okay. So understood how do we deal with these alerts? How do we accept an alert? Right. Now, I want to know whether the text displayed here is correct or not. There might be some other error, and this is not the alert which I have to accept. This might be some other error showing me some information. Okay. So I want to verify the text here. Okay. So to get the text from an alert, again, it's not a HTML, so we can't use get text method, right? So that is why alert is giving us a separate method. Okay. Before accepting it only, we can do that. Driver dot I'll do. If you want to perform multiple operations, I have to store this inside an alert. You see, this alert method is going to return an alert object. So I'm going to store it inside an alert box. Okay. This is from Selenium import. Now I don't have to switch to alert because already I switched. So I'll be using alert box dot accept. But before accepting, I want to get the text of it, right? Alert box dot. You have a method of get text from alert class. You see, this is not from Selenium or not from the web elements. This is from alert class. Okay. So this will fetch the text from alert box. That's all. Okay, now see that. Okay, now let's go to the console and see. Did it print the text? Hello, I'm an alert box. So if you want to fetch the text from an alert, you have to switch to that alert and then use get text method of alert class. Then if you want to accept that alert, you have to use accept. And observe, I don't want to click on enter button. I don't want to accept this alert. I want to close this alert. Then I want to reject this alert. Then I'll press my escape key so that the alert box will be gone. Okay, I'm on Zoom meeting, so I'm unable to click on. Yeah. When I click on escape, you see I'm clicking on escape key on my keyboard. The pop-up will be gone. That means we are dismissing the alert. We are not, what do we say? We are not accepting the alert. Okay. To dismiss that alert. Okay. Instead of showing dismiss here, I'll show dismiss in the other window. Prompt. Okay. So you see here, if I press enter, it will say, hello, Harry Potter, how are you today? Right? I'm clicking on try it and then I'll click on escape. Oh, okay. I'll click on try it. Now if I click on OK, it will say hello Harry Potter, how are you today? But if I'm clicking on escape, is it showing the text? That means I'm canceling it. Right? If I want to dismiss it, I don't want to give any input, or if I don't want to work on that alert, then I should press cancel. But since we won't be able to identify those elements, we'll press escape key. Okay. On this alert, that escape key pressing is done with the help of alert box dot dismiss. Understood? Okay, wait, let me do here alert accepting that driver dot navigate dot move to. I'll change the URL to this prompt. Okay, now once we move to the prompt again, we have to switch to that frame and then click on try it. Okay, after clicking on that try it, and then to show that prompt box, I'll use this. After this, before dismissing or before accepting the alert, I want to enter some text. Okay, when I click on it, I have to enter some text on it. So for this, what we have to do is again prompt box. Okay, I'm just changing the name, that's all, but still it's an alert. Now on the prompt box dot send keys, I can say that's all. This is going to send that keys, and I can accept the prompt box dot accept. Now let's see. Let us run this and let's see. Okay. It will show alert accepting, sending the name to prompt box and accepting the prompt box as well. Maximized. Click on try it. Alert box is there. It will wait for 5 seconds and close. Then it will change to prompt. It will click on try it. It should send keys Nikhil Gunda after 5 seconds, right? Yeah. You see? Did you see hello Nikhil Gunda is here? Right? So you can send keys. You can enter text into an alert box using send keys method. Like this, it will send the text. And then if you click on accept, the text is being displayed here. Now I don't want to accept it. I want to cancel the prompt box. Okay, I don't want to work on the prompt box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this dismiss. Okay. Now see it. When I run it, you won't see my name. It will enter my name, but you won't see my name on the page because the prompt box is dismissed. alert box. Okay. I will go to prompt. Okay. It will enter the text, but it will dismiss. You see? Do you see the greeting here? We don't see the greeting here because the prompt box was dismissed. But here we see the greeting because the prompt box was accepted. That is the difference between these two. Understood? So you understood how do we deal with alert? To get the text from alert box, use get text. To send keys into the alert box, use send keys method. To accept it, we have accept method. To dismiss it, we have dismiss method. Okay.
Okay.
These are the only 4 methods that we deal with alerts. There is no other method that we can do with it. Or there is no other operation that we can perform on the alerts. Is that clear?
Yes, Nikhil.
So that is all about windows, frames, and alerts. Somebody, yeah. Those are all the things about things that we should know about frames, windows, and alerts. Any questions in this? No? Okay. So in our tomorrow session, we are going to learn how to perform the mouse operations. Okay. Mouse operations means like you have you're double clicking, you're right clicking. We do some operations with the mouse, right? Drag and drop, select like this. So we do some operations. So those kind of operations. When I click on right click and then you see some menu to perform right click, and then you to perform double click, to drag and drop, all those things we will see in tomorrow's session. How, what are the actions that we will perform with mouse? All those actions we will see in tomorrow's session. Okay.
Okay, Nikhil.
Have a great sleep. Bye bye.